Energylandia in Zator, Poland is one of the most fast-growing theme parks anywhere in the world, having only been open for 10 seasons and yet being home to so many fantastic coasters. Enthusiasts travel the world to come and ride some of their fantastic rides such as Zadra and Hyperion. However, is Energylandia a truly elite park? Many would argue it would be, simply because of the sheer amount and quality of some of their coasters. However, some would argue it's not, and the fact that it's just an amusement park and many parts of the park are a bit of a mishmash and don't stand up to the rest of the quality in other areas of the park make this just a good park and not a truly elite park like somewhere like Fantasyland or Europa Park. Welcome to Coasternaut, and if you enjoyed today's video, please do give it a like, it massively helps out the channel, and subscribe for more videos on Energylandia in the future and other roller coaster and theme park prediction videos. Now, Energylandia in Poland has only been operating for 10 seasons, having only opened its doors for the first time to let guests in 2014. Energylandia currently operates 17 roller coasters, and it has 3 more new coasters currently under construction. This would bring the total of coasters at Energylandia up to 20. Now, only Six Flags Magic Mountain in California, America has 20 operating coasters at the minute. So when these 3 coasters open, whenever they do open, I think they're planned for 2024 now. I think 2 of them were planned to be open in 2023, but were pushed back for 2024. That would actually bring Energylandia up to the same level as Magic Mountain, Six Flags, and would therefore have joint most operating coasters in a park already after only 10 seasons. You know, that is absolutely outstanding. You know, think about the history, 5 decades or so that Magic Mountain has been open, and after just 10 years, Energylandia, in the middle of nowhere really. If you have ever been to Energylandia, Zator is, it's a field. Energylandia is the only thing around Zator at all. It's in the middle of nowhere. How can this park compete with Magic Mountain, which is in Valencia, California? It's insane, the differences in money of the 2 parks over the years, and yet, in terms of when you're just looking at coasters, Energylandia is now on par in terms of the sheer quantity. However, there is the old phrase, quality over quantity. When you look at Six Flags Magic Mountain, there's so many fantastic iconic coasters there. You've got the likes of X2, Apocalypse, Viper, trying to think what else. You have Revolution, so many fantastic rides there. There's Tatsu as well, so you've got flying coasters, you've got inverted coasters, you've got things that plenty of airtime, you have wooden coasters, junior coasters, something that, absolutely a coaster for everyone there. When you look at Energylandia, there is a real sort of I don't know the best way of putting it, if I'm honest. It's not focused towards the thrill market as such. They've got the absolute standouts like Zadra and Hyperion, which are some of the most thrilling coasters anywhere in the world. They have some great quality thrilling coasters such as Abyssus, but aren't truly outstanding. And then there's sort of a big drop off from the top 3. So they're obviously the top 3 coasters at Energylandia. And then you've got some other thrill coasters in there, like Formula or Roller Coaster Mayan, and these are typically Vekoma coasters. However, like I say, they do like other manufacturers like Intamin, but Energylandia has been known to become one of the best parks that use these new Vekoma coasters, and some coasters have been amazing, like Abyssus, Formula, even Dragon, the family inverted coaster, Boomerang. And Frida is a very nice coaster, fantastic colour scheme on Frida, very unique. However, they simply want to break the record, in my opinion. They have 3 Vekoma Family Junior coasters when Choco Chip Creek opens in 2024. Honey Harbour, I've got this one way around. When Honey Harbour opens in 2024, Choco Chip Creek is the new Vekoma Mine Train ride when that opens, and that will be a fantastic addition. I think that will be a very unique, cool family coaster, especially with the theming in the new Sweet Valley area. That looks like some fantastic theming. And that's part of the problem as well that I'll get onto with Energylandia, is the theming. But why does a park need 3 Vekoma family coasters? There's 2 Vekoma family boomerangs with Boomerang and Light Explorer now. They've got a Wacky Worm there. And the Wacky Worm, the positioning of that's maybe 50 meters from the entrance of Hyperion. How can you have one of these fantastic Intamin hypercoasters, one of the best layouts, some of the best air timing you will ever experience in the world, 50 meters away from a Wacky Worm, a massive grand castle front entrance, and then you walk through and you're in some wacky theming like you'd find somewhere like Bon Bon Land. You know, it really is a very jumbled park, especially the front of the park, and it's very clear that there are very much two different parts of Energylandia. And to understand that, we need to understand a bit more about Energylandia and the history of the park. And this park was designed to bring in tourism for Poland and the area of Zator itself, and therefore it gets massive government grants in terms of the government of Poland gives Energylandia plenty of money to invest into the park, and that's why it's been able to expand and grow so quickly and attract enthusiasts from all over the world. They do seem to have some very good owners. You know, when Hyperion was built, they actually did a poll. Would fans like to see an Intamin Hyper or a Vekoma Hyper? And they actually put out 2 potential layouts of the ride. And, you know, they let guests choose what new ride they wanted for the park. And that is fantastic. Zadra, you know, one of the only ground-up hybrid RMC coasters. RMC, they know that it's one of the best and most popular manufacturers in terms of models anywhere out there right now. So they built that coaster for the fans. It's definitely a fans coaster, an enthusiast coaster to attract people from around the world to come to Energylandia, because it's actually a well-known story that the owner of Energylandia doesn't like wooden coasters. You know, on all the branding around the park of Zadra, it shows GCI trains and GCI track. It doesn't show an RMC. You know, they call this Zadra wooden coaster. This is you know, to enthusiasts, we see this as an RMC hybrid coaster, but this is their version of a wooden coaster. They see this as a wooden coaster. They don't want to invest in a wooden coaster. And, you know, I think that's a bit of a shame, but because of this government grant, they've invested so much money into the park, and it's very clear that they've changed their way of doing this over the past few years. Now, over the past few years, they've done this very well. At the back of the park, there's a split where you have to actually take a path under a road to get to the back of the park, and that split under the road is definitely, you know, the best and the worst of Energylandia. Everything behind that is fantastic. Everything before that is probably what needs to be changed in order to make Energylandia a world-class, truly elite theme park. So, on the backside, you know, you have rides such as Zadra, Abyssus, but the best thing about this is they're all part of themed areas. You know, Zadra was part of like a medieval castle themed area, and it's really fantastic back there. There's a fantastic audio going up package that's played throughout that area, and whenever you're in some of the merchandise stores, you know, they're themed fantastically as well. Some of there's a chicken shop restaurant in there just opposite Zadra, but that theming is fantastic there. Aqualantis, the area where Abyssus is, that is a fantastic area as well. Abyssus intertwines with that area fantastically, and the new Sweet Valley area is also going to be built between those two areas, and this is going to contain the new Honey Harbour and Chocolate Chip Creek ride as well. So the back of the park is fantastic. You know, it's got some great rides in there, a mixture of thrill coasters, family coasters, and some flats, and also water rides. However, it's mixed in perfectly with some fantastic theming as well. In 2024 or maybe 2025 now, with the 2023 coasters having been pushed back, there's also planned to be a Vekoma tilt coaster back there, and I don't think, like I say, considering what we've seen from Energylandia over recent years, that's going to be just plonked down. I can imagine, even though we've not heard anything official from the park yet, that will be in a fantastic new themed area as well, so that's just even more goodness to add to the back of the park. But now that the back of the park is really full, I think we need to look at the front of the park. Like I say, here is where we have 2 rapids rides, 2 Vekoma family coasters. We have a wacky worm, no real coordinated theming. Like I say, it's really weird sort of knockoff round Happy Loops, the SBF Visa coaster. There's knockoff Madagascar theming, you know. I just think it's a real mishmash of rides, and you know, you have some fantastic rides in the front of the park, like Hyperion, like Speed Water Coaster, like Dragon Coaster, but it all needs, everything around those rides, in my opinion, needs to be ripped out, take out a lot of those trashy flat rides, and replace them with some modern day flats that, you know, will have better capacity and also look better, more fitting into the park, but build themed areas around the front of the park as well, in my opinion. You know, I think they need to remove some of the trash coasters as well, get rid of the Wacky Worm, get rid of the SBF Visa spinning coaster, put in some nice junior coasters in there. You know, I'm not going to say remove the Vekoma family coasters, even though you have multiple of them, but, you know, don't add any more, put it that way. You know, they are good for capacity, but, you know, don't add any more. You know, there are other coasters out there you can go with Energylandia. Build a Gravity Group family wooden coaster, that would be a fantastic addition to the park. But, you know, all I'm saying is pick and choose your new additions more carefully, remove some of the older rubbish, specifically in the front of the park, and massively convert the front of the park from an amusement park into a theme park that will match the standard at the back of the park. Because, you know, as you go through Energylandia, you really do feel as if you're in two different parks. The back of the park is a fantastic theme park, and when you come back to the front of the park to ride things like Speed Water Coaster or Hyperion, it really is a shame, because if you spent time in the back of the park, you really don't want to come back to the front of the park. You sort of quickly go through the front of the park, get to the coaster you want to ride, and then go straight to the back of the park again, because that is where the better theming is. You feel far more immersed, and it's just a nicer area to be in. So for me, to make Energylandia a truly world-class park, you know, pick and choose the new investment slightly better, and whenever there is a new investment, theme it to the same level that they have been known for at the recent additions at the back of the park. That is how Energylandia can turn itself from a fantastic amusement park with some great standout rides into a truly elite world-class theme park that was fit for young thrill seekers, as well as some of the biggest coaster and theme park enthusiasts in the world. Do you agree with me? Or do you think Energylandia is already one of the best elite parks anywhere in the world? And if you don't, what else would you choose to improve Energylandia in the years coming forward? If you have enjoyed today's video, please do give it a like. It massively helps out the channel. Subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out so much. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.